The market chops the first half of the week. Is it ready for launch?
This is Invest with Jacob.
Okay, guys, after 2 years of traveling, I am back home. And as you can see behind me, we have literally just moved in. I haven't even had time to set up. I have a blank slate sitting behind me. So hopefully by the end of the weekend and into next week, I'll have a background that doesn't just look like a big yellow wall. So good to be back. And when I last left you, I warned about the potential breakout to 5850, which is what we were looking at when they've breached the 764. And it looks like the market is well on its way, as the market has taken off overnight and looks like it wants to break out over the all-time highs. So now the question is, will 5850 hold? I'll get into that in just 1 second. But first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, before we jump into the charts, you can see on the screen here a comment from one of our users. We have our indicator that I've been talking about for a while now. It's just about ready for public use. The guys in my room are using it right now, and we've been crushing it. August was an incredible month. September is an incredible month right now. We are just absolutely killing it on the day trading side, and we are using that indicator. So it'll be available soon, so stay tuned for that. For now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1 hour ES chart, or S&P futures chart. And what we have seen here the first part of the week is after they moved up swiftly on last Thursday, they moved down Friday and then basically have chopped this first half of the week. They do look like they're trying to break out over the highs here. And if they do, I would look for a pretty strong squeeze into 58.17 to 58.50 next. And should they push through that, we have the potential to truly break out in a more direct manner toward the 6,000 region, which means 58.50 will not hold in that scenario. Overall, given the structure that we have gotten off of this low, I don't think 58.50 is going to hold either way. But it's a case of if it's going to be more direct or if we're going to get to 58.50 and pull back. So what we're looking at here is we have the potential, and this is the primary as it is with the breakout potential here overnight, where we have a 1 and then a really shallow flat wave 2 here. It's not ideal. It's not what I was expecting, but it is a possibility. If that's the case, this is 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and we're getting ready to break out. To confirm that, they need to get out over 58.50 and then ultimately 58.91. They can push to 58.91. It's an extended wave 5, but over that, and it can no longer be a wave 5, and it looks like we're in 3 of 3, which would target a minimum of 59.58 and more likely 6,024 in a pretty direct manner. So the overall push here is going to be dependent on that 58.50 area. Now, should they hold anywhere in this region and break back down below this 57.50 area and then 57.35, then we could count this as a bigger wave 1 and be looking for a wave 2 pullback. If that's the case, wave 2 should pull back pretty deep into this 55.60 area, the top of the breakout zone here. And remember, these numbers are a little bit inflated on the futures chart because we had contract roll. And when we have contract roll, you know, the market's artificially inflated. It's not really a gap up. It just is what it is. So we have the potential for this to be still a wave 1. So this would be 3, 4, and 5 completing. And should they break back down ultimately below 56.73, I would expect to move back towards 55.60 and then a 1-2 setup to break out, which again would still push toward the 6,100 to 6,200 area overall. So in both of those scenarios, we are very bullish. The only caveat or bearish count would be if they hold up here. 58.50 was our target. It is possible that this would be the whole C wave here, where you'd have 3, 4, and 5 into 58.50. And should they break down below this 55.60 area, that would be a warning to the bulls that this is the top and they're starting to break down in a more bearish pattern. So ultimately what we're looking at is 55.60 must hold for the bulls to continue upward, and a breakout over 58.50 takes us more to 6,000 in a direct manner. So those are the main paths that we're looking for. Right now the expectation is for a bullish move up into the 6,000 area unless they're able to break back below 55.60. Over on the NASDAQ, as you've probably come to expect, the NASDAQ has a very similar setup to the ES. And the NASDAQ is one of the reasons we have the primary count that we do. It's a very similar count with a very shallow wave 2, and then a 1-2 setup for the breakout. And they're coming over the 618 and this high here, which is a very bullish indication on the NASDAQ. Should they push through 20,481, we would expect them to continue to at least 20,773 and more likely 21,065. And should that happen, we would look for a pullback, continuation up towards 21.5, a pullback, and then 22,000 overall. We've been talking about that 22,000 number. If they do break out, that would be the target, and that is exactly where we are targeting. So NASDAQ does have a more bullish setup as they are over the 618. They are playing catch up because they were behind. The ES is making new highs. The NASDAQ is playing catch up, and they are breaking out over this high as well as over the 618, which is big resistance. So if they can break out and continue through 20,481, then we would expect a big squeeze from the bulls up into the 20,007, but more likely 21,000 area. If, however, they break back below this 19,531 area after holding near this 20,300 area, we could still call this a bigger wave 1. And you look for a 1-2 and then a 1-2 breakout. And that would still point toward about 22,000, a little higher like 22.3 or 4, but basically at 22,000 area, it would just make a bigger wave 1 and 2 setup overall. So with the bigger wave 1s on both charts or the immediate breakout, whichever one is occurring, it does move our targets up a little bit and give us a very bullish outlook in the short term. Now after that, we would look for the market to turn down sharply on both charts. For the NASDAQ, they do have the same bearish setup to the downside, where if they do pull back and they're unable to rally strongly and stay over this 19,120 area, 19,000 area, break back below that breakout zone, that would be a major warning to the bulls that the NASDAQ was unable to make a new all-time high and basically just kind of rallied a little bit while ES made an all-time high, as the NASDAQ does traditionally top first. So something to keep an eye on there. Guys, if you love the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it'll take you right over to our webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to make sure you love it. Become part of the trading team. Make sure it's what I say it is. Before you ever spend a penny, you literally have nothing to lose by checking us out, and you can cancel at any time. We also have our educational material, our Elliott Wave 4 Beginners online course, as well as our Advanced Elliott Wave course. These courses are helping traders understand this complex market, how to utilize it, and how to make money doing it. In the Advanced Elliott Wave course, we go through the complex patterns, such as your advanced fib levels, your diagonals, your double and triple threes, flats, triangles, everything that really confuses traders, everything that confuses people when they look at the market and they don't understand why the market does what it does, is explained in these complex patterns. As you can see on the screen, our members are really loving it. It's helping them understand these markets. But if that's too complex or you're just getting started, we also have our Elliott Wave 4 Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand a market in a way that makes sense. It can be so confusing when good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up. And this is because Elliott knew that the news cycles were garbage long ago. He knew that the key levels mattered. We talk about them here all the time. And he knew what happened when those key levels held and what happened when they broke. This gives you a huge advantage over the rest of the market. This course is 25 videos where we go through 3 parts: your introduction, where we go through your mindset and emotion, the KISS method, why it works, the chart setup and tools, where we go through all the tools you use with Elliott Wave Theory, why and how we use them, as well as the Elliott Wave 4 Beginners area, where we go through each of the waves, how they work, what they are, the pivot, the corrective zigzag, the Elliott Wave degrees, theory of alternation, everything you need to know to understand this complex market in a way that makes sense. The cool thing about these plans, if you want to get them both at a discount, we have our bundle pack. You get $37 off by getting both at the same time. But if you're looking for free educational material, check out our monthly rooms, as they are included in both monthly rooms. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where we go over exactly where we are in the counts, go through several different charts, go over the big picture, answer all your questions, and make sure you're up to speed on what's going on, as well as all the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing and day trade, so we do trade quite often in my room. But if you're looking for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading that's crushing it, by the way, and advanced training, check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as the individual stocks, the futures trading. Again, that income trading method he uses that kills the market, and his reduced risk binary method that gets you in at a cheap price and gets you huge multiples on your money. And that's how he structures that trade that's so unique. Something you really have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we'd love to have you in the rooms so we can all make money together. All right, our key takeaways for today. We're looking for the market to break out over 5,800 here. 58.17 to 58.50 would be the next target area. If they turn down strongly from there, that can be the wave one top, and we'd look for them to hold the 55.60 area. Any break of that is a warning to the bulls. Any hold or breakout over 58.50 would be considered very bullish toward the 61 to 6,200 area. On the NASDAQ, same types of setup, although the NASDAQ is a little more bullish as it is over at 618. We would be looking for them to potentially turn down in a wave two. If that is the case, they need to hold the 19,100 area and then push back over. But if they can't pull back at all and they do start to directly break out over 20,481, we would expect them to push toward 21,065 and ultimately that 22,000 area. Guys, it's great to be back. That is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.